Student by day and actor by night, valedictorian Daniel Schwartzberg has earned one of the top 5 academic averages in the school's history. Yet he rarely arrives home before 9 o'clock at night. An inquisitive, devoted student, Daniel is unfailingly polite, humble, and friendly. He's an accomplished actor, dancer, and singer. Daniel's won a lot of awards on this stage this year, and there's only one problem with that, which is that when he stands near me on stage, I can't sing the school song because I just want to listen to Daniel sing it. Daniel Schwartzberg. He will be attending, University of Michigan.
Thank you very much, Dr. Carter. Good morning, Mr. Lockwood, Reverend Deacon Spinella, Mr. Burke, trustees, faculty and staff, parents, grandparents, extended family, friends, and of course, my classmates. Before I begin, I'd like to thank all of you. It's been an amazing 4 years, and I could not be more honored to be seated up here with you today. This speech is for you. My dad has always told me that there is an essential distinction between knowledge and wisdom. Knowledge is everything we've learned, the facts, the equations, dates, quotes, stories, songs, all stacked up like so many books in our heads, neatly compiled and cataloged, and yet just sitting there. Wisdom, meanwhile, is the application of knowledge. It's utilizing those facts, those dates, pulling those books off their mental shelf and using the words between the covers to show something novel. Wisdom at its height can be discovering a new medicine, proposing a new theorem, or disproving an old one. But wisdom can also be something everyday, solving a practical problem, or capably debating with a friend. Now, if you're looking for an example of wisdom, think about our teachers. I believe that the teachers I have met here are the most knowledgeable people I will ever know. And every day they take what they know and they gain wisdom by teaching, by perpetuating a cycle in which we, their lucky students, can slowly accumulate their knowledge and eventually apply it towards gaining our own wisdom. It's truly an honor to learn from them. And while they glean wisdom from the classroom, our teachers are remarkable in the way they actively pursue wisdom in other areas. I took Mr. Mathis's pre-calculus course last year, yet the majority of our conversations this year have concerned his interest in science fiction and his writing. I was a member of Mr. Burke's U.S. history class, but I've talked with him about everything from the similarities between sports and theater and the virtues of being arrested. And Pook, well, I could make this speech significantly longer, but suffice to say that Pook certainly occupies himself outside the classroom. Something about organizing the nation's English curriculum. All these people have modeled the important fact that wisdom doesn't have a limit or a plateau. As long as we stay invested in continually learning and using what we've learned, we don't stop gaining wisdom. Now, that's a very specific word. We gain wisdom. It tells us that wisdom must be actively sought after. We can't passively sit by and hope that some will fall into our laps. So we're going to have to challenge ourselves. We're going to have to look for a path. Some way to go where we can't just sit back, resting on laurels that will soon mold and lose their shine. We're going to have to embark on a journey. That sounds dramatic, and it is. Because the destination of the journey isn't somewhere tangible. It's not a distant island in which we can stick a flag and say, I've made it. the land to which we will move will stay distant and will constantly recede regardless of how fast we sail towards it. And the scariest portion of the journey is the part we're going through right now, the departure. We have to leave behind an island of comfort to go towards an island where, well, an island we know nothing about. It's an intimidating thought. To leave behind the familiar is always terrifying. I know I'm scared. Scared of what will be on my journey, scared of what won't be. Yet I also feel this thrill, this euphoric sense of expectancy, because I will somehow have made it a little bit closer to that untouchable destination. Because wisdom is a process, not a finish line. It's not defined by how much we've gained by a certain age, but instead by what we pick up along the way. Really, it's more than a process. My father defined wisdom as knowing how to apply knowledge. That's life. After the next 4 years, likely for most of us our last experience with organized education, we will be out in the world with nothing but what we know and how we can use it. Like I said, it's scary, but we're ready. Now, I know I'm not yet a wise person, and I don't say this to be self-deprecating, but because by definition, it's true. I have not fully applied the knowledge I've gathered, but that doesn't make me disappointed. It's actually exhilarating to be able to say that, because that phrase has within it the anticipation of something greater. I am not yet a wise person. Not that Derryfield hasn't given us wisdom. All our tests, essays, projects, each of these have shown us that we can take what we know and make something new. But for the better part of the past 18 years, and specifically the past 4 or 7, we've been augmenting our brains, stretching their capacities for information. We simply haven't had many chances to use that information outside a structured setting. But that is the opportunity we have now. Our teachers, our parents, our coaches, and our peers have given us a base of knowledge so vast that we will undoubtedly and unavoidably gain wisdom. But there's still the necessity of the departure. So we will leave here. We will leave to start our journey. We will leave despite the daunting, terrifying act of putting our foot out the front door of our home or our school. We will leave, not yet wise, but to gain wisdom. So, to all of you about to become wise women, wise men, thank you. Thank you for sharing not just knowledge, but compassion, humor, friendship, and yes, wisdom. I wish you all the luck in the world. Now let's go out there and show them what we know. Thank you.